This is Jazz Byers, and you're watching Jazz's Rockin Roadshow. I am here in the windy city of Chicago, just outside the Willis Tower, which used to be the Sears Tower. I'm planning to do the Sky Deck, which is the highest observation deck in the United States. And if you look way up there at those lights of those things hanging out over the edge, I think that's where I'm going. I don't really dig heights, but somehow on this show I keep going to high places. What the actual heck is going on? This is really cool. This is a room that looks like a subway car and it's not moving, but it makes you feel like you're moving. That's for sure. Let's find out who our musical guest is on this episode. Call Doug Carnahan on speakerphone.
Calling Doug Carnahan. Mobile on speaker.
Doug, it's the Jazz Man. How are ya?
I'm good, buddy. Did you get my text?
What's that?
I said, you get my text? I just texted you, big guy.
Oh, I did not get your text, but I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm hanging out in Chicago and shooting some footage for my TV show. I want to know if you will be the musical guest on this episode. The correct answer is yes. What do you say? Did I lose you? I lost you. Can't hear you. Still there? Well, I had Doug on the phone. We got disconnected. I'm sure that Doug will say yeah, that he's going to be the musical guest on this show. Doug, what's up, my friend?
Not much, buddy. Sorry about that. My phone's on POS sometimes.
Oh, no worries. So I don't know how much of that you heard, but hang on.
I heard all. I heard everything you said. It just cuts out on me.
Oh, okay. So, since I got you back, what's your answer? Correct answer is yes.
Based on that pitch, how can I not? I'm in, buddy.
Excellent. All right. Well, listen, I'm like just about ready to go up in the Willis Tower to the observation deck because I have a extreme fear of heights and I keep doing stuff like this because I'm a sucker for punishment. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Doug Carnahan on this episode of Jazz's Rockin Roadshow as I go up to the observation deck in the Willis Tower. Woohoo!
I just needed time to see.
Welcome to the Sky Deck. You're on your way to the top of the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. You're riding up this 1,450-foot modern marvel in one of the tower's 104 elevator cars. Your trip to the Sky Deck will only take about a minute. That means your elevator is traveling at a speed of more than 24 feet per second. And now we're here.
I made it to the top. It's quite windy. Apparently, I'm about to go onto the ledge. Not quite sure how I feel about that. 1.5 inches that you stand on. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. Okay, I'm on the Sky Deck. 1,353 foot above the ground. Oh, I hate this. Yeah, I don't like this. And I do this kind of stuff all the time. But I'm going to get a photo. I'm going to do a selfie of myself. So, here we go. Oh, sorry. There's 1.5 inches of plexiglass or glass or something between me and my death of falling. I tell you what, if I was ever going to kill myself, I wouldn't jump. I would do a lot of other things other than jump. Ugh. Yeah. All right. Well, while I figure out how to walk again because my feet aren't moving very well, here's a video. I had enough of the sky deck and the ledge for one day. I'm gonna head back to the hotel and do a Zoom meeting with Doug Carnahan. He's a guest on this week's show, and we'll do a little Zoom interview. So I hope you had as much fear and excitement as I just did on the ledge. All right, I am back at the hotel finally. After wandering through Chicago and going to the Willis Tower, fearing for my life on the ledge, 1,353 foot above the ground on 1.5 inches of glass or plexiglass or whatever it was. Yeah, that was all right. Anyway, back at the hotel now. Gonna head to the room and do a Zoom interview with Doug Carnahan. So, yeah, that's what's next. Yay! My home away from home. It's a little messy. All right, so I made it back to the hotel here in Chicago. I got my good buddy Doug Carnahan on Zoom here. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great, brother. How you doing?
Not bad. Thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Pleasure's all mine, brother. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's tell the world about you. I was thinking about this earlier as I was fearing for my life at the top of the Willis Tower, standing on 1.5 inches of like glass or plexiglass, looking down and realizing that this was not something I enjoy. For whatever reason, that made me think about my past life experiences. And when I first met you,
Sure.
I think I first met you when you were playing with After the Fall.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So what made you decide to go out as a solo artist and kind of, I don't want to say change the music because you're probably playing similar music in acoustic form, but you're pretty much an acoustic act on your own, right?
Well, yeah, yes and no. So the full answer to that question is actually After the Fall and we're still technically a band.
Okay.
And just at the present moment right now, we're kind of like, they have obviously many different projects they're working on. And so I took this opportunity when we were playing together. You have to do the same, a record and another record, at some point you want to kind of, try a few different things here and there.
Right.
And I just didn't think that ATF was the right forum for what, I was shooting to do. You know what I mean? I didn't want to do any disrespect to the band name or my bandmates or anything. So it just worked out that it was an opportune time to kind of stab off on my own there. So as far as the music goes, though, it's funny you should mention that because whenever I started, I do a lot of acoustic stuff, but I'm actually dropping a new single here. This first I've ever told anybody on the record. So hopefully I'm shooting to have it out sometime fallish, in that realm. But it's way different flavor, Jazz. Way different flavor than anything I've done, man.
Can't wait to hear it, dude.
It's kind of like I say electronic, kind of electronic rock, pop, something like in that vein. So
that's what I like about like what you do as an artist because I'm not trying to like stay on the past with After the Fall.
No, go for it, man.
But like that's a straight ahead rock band, and then
right,
just totally change gears like that. I mean, is it weird for you?
At first it was doing the acoustic stuff was kind of strange a little bit, because you're going from that energy of and chemistry of a live band, four guys on stage, really rocking out to just one dude and an acoustic guitar. So and the audience is a lot different too, man. You get you're not having that same kind of effect with the audio. They're not like, to an acoustic guitar. So that was a little strange. But like the music itself, though, especially this new track I was telling you about, man, it came very naturally, dude. Like it was almost like divine, the way it came about. So I think I'm afraid some people might be put off by it because it's a lot different. But it as far as staying true to myself, that's what I had to do, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, when you do recordings and stuff, do you keep it acoustic or do you add some other flavors to it? Well, the acoustic record was mostly acoustic stuff. You know, the last one I did. This new one here, though, it's got some synthesizers in it, some keyboards, some organ. You know, there's all kinds of different flavors sprinkled in there, man. So
Nice.
yeah.
Well, I tell you what, let's cut this short because I'll tell you why.
Why?
Today's Tuesday? When's today's Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday, my friend.
All right, so I fly back from Chicago on Thursday, and I think we're playing a show together on Friday, right?
We are. That's true.
Yeah. So I just happened to think about that. Let's continue this in person.
That sounds great, buddy. I'm in.
We'll just pick up right where we left off.
I would love that.
Yeah, and maybe I can get some footage of the show. You know,
that sounds great, buddy.
And we'll just put it all together and do all that. So let's take this time now to assume that in 4 days from now or 3 days from now, I shot some video of him.
Right.
Camera up there. So we're going to put one of those videos right here in the show. How's that sound? And I'll see you in like 2 or 3 days. Sound good?
Sounds great, buddy.
All right, brother. Thanks for being on the show.
Jazz, you're the man, brother. Thank you.
I'm a mess, you're a mess. Found you stay, gone away. Can't hit this bottom anymore. Chose your side, killed your ride. Can't be saved, can't be saved. Can't hit this bottom anymore. Bloody mud to keep you in. Running rampant in your sin. The sparks that flew are now burning inside of me. I locked the door, you stole the key. Smile, smile, I know you gave to someone else. This piece of meat you left is rotting on the shelf. Nature has a way of turning good things into bad. How's it feel to lose the best you ever had? Lines across, love is lost, thrown away, thrown away. Yeah, never to return. Gone inside, gonna hide every day, every day. Watch the fire burn back into wild again. Here it's romancing friend. I'm strangled by the ties that bind me to your hand. The end came when the song began. Yeah. Smile, you know you gave to someone else. This piece of meat you left is rotting on the shelf. Nature has a way of turning good things into bad. How's it feel to lose the best you ever had?
All right, anytime that you're in Chicago, you gotta go somewhere and get a Chicago style hot dog, right? Like it's either that or like deep dish pizza. And the locals tell me they don't eat the deep dish pizza. That's all just the tourists. Well, we're gonna get a Chicago style hot dog here in Chicago. This is my friend Jay. I'm documenting my hot dog experience here today, right? Because you gotta have a Chicago dog when you're in Chicago, right? All right, I got myself a Chicago hot dog from the hot dog box. Look at how good this looks. Oh my goodness. They know how to do it. Let's check that out. Oh, so good. I am here in Millennium Park in Chicago. This is the Welcome Center area. But Millennium Park, if you don't know, it's a very cool park, pretty much right in the middle of Chicago. And they've got Cloud Gate, also known as the Bean Sculpture. They've got a place where they have concerts and movies outside. They've got a really cool sculpture that I'll show you called the Crown Sculpture. And what it is, it's these big walls and water comes down on the sides. It looks like bricks, but they're video walls. And what they did, the artist took basically composites of like 1,000 people from Chicago, and they made these faces, and they change, and all the kids play in the water, and people go there and just hang out. But anyways, it's a really cool place. We're gonna check out all that stuff and maybe some more stuff depending on how adventurous I am. I'm on my way to go see Cloud Gate, which is also known as the Bean here in Millennium Park. It's a sculpture that is polished like a mirror, and you can't see any of the seams or anything. I made it to Cloud Gate, aka the Bean, here in Millennium Park in Chicago, but they're doing some work around it, so you can't actually get to go up and go around it, but there's what it looks like. There's music everywhere. It's the universal language. Check out this guy. Yes. Aaron Boverin. Hey, I was walking down the street here in Chicago. This is my new friend Aaron Bouverat, killing it on guitar. So, dude, you're playing out here. You get all kinds of attention. You should have saw the crowd. Like, we had to wait for the crowd to disperse before I could even say hello to them.
Chicago is a fantastic place to play blues. The respect here, especially here in the middle of it all, like, it's fantastic.
Awesome.
It's the old school guys that are dropping the dollars.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate it because we had
the Lollapalooza crowd come through here. Not a
no way.
Not a thing.
Oh my goodness.
But once it starts getting dark just a little bit, you see the crowd change a little bit. You see a few more old schoolers out here, and they're the ones that are like, yeah, I love this.
Well, I'm not gonna hold you up, man. Keep making music for the people. Love what you're doing, man.
Man, good luck.
Cool.
Have a great night.
Great chatting with you. It's people like Aaron back there that just have a love for music that make it so cool. Like, that guy's out there he's doing it, man. He's living it. You know, something to be said about that. All right, I am leaving the beautiful city of Chicago, heading back to Pittsburgh to meet up with Doug Carnahan. Going to check out his performance at the Shriners Pavilion or something. I forget what the name is, but Half Wheel, my band, is playing there as well. So I've got to get to the airport and catch a flight. I am on my way to the airport here in Chicago, and I am being driven by the one and only famous Yogi Ward.
You got that right.
Yogi, believe it or not, and I tell no lies, Yogi used to drive for President Obama. Isn't that true?
That's true.
And if you don't believe it, you look it up on the internet. This is facts. So I don't know how I got lucky enough to get you as a driver today, but thank you.
All right. There's no free throws in life, even when you get fouled. Opportunity, they only dance with those that's already out on the dance floor. I'm out doing my dance. How about you?
Right.
You turn on the TV. The news media would say that this generation is lost and unconcerned. And this generation is copping out and popping pills just for thrills and laid back, selling crack, they're chilling, illin', being cool, acting like fools and disobeying the rules. But if they want better grades, they got to put down some hip hop for some homework, some Master P for some chemistry, because they won't get their cap and gown in their degree, rapping and clapping with OJC. Sometimes they got to give up and get down with Foxy Brown and say to the world, how do you like me now? And when they see Run DMC, it means run, don't miss class. I'm going to send them to Penn State and not the State Penn. I'll send them to Morehouse and not the Big House. I'll send them to Yale and not the jail. Why? Because they'll choose to be a man by working hard as their kin. They're irrepeatable, they're unbeatable. They'll use their time to develop their mind. I'm Yogi in the morning, Yogi in the evening, and Yogi in the afternoon. The M.E. man himself, live right here in the city of Chicago. People, nobody in the city can do it better than M.E. That's me. I am a Yogi man.
Oh, you are the best.
Okay, cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Yogi.
Right here.
Thanks, my friend.
Chicago.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
Be safe.
Okay.
On my way to Pittsburgh via LaGuardia, I think. I'm happy to be back from Chicago, hanging out with my dear friend, Doug Carnahan, and this is Weeping Willow.
Me and all our memories are standing here, hoping that you'll open up the door. I took off all my chains by coming here, and I put on chains I've never worn before. And I'll leave this flower on your pillow, my pretty weeping willow. Think of those golden days I'm afraid your wishes just like you were gone. And I'll leave this flower on your pillow, my pretty weeping willow. Think of those golden days before, when you put that flower in your hair. Remember just how much I care, and pray you won't be weeping anymore. And I'll leave this flower on your pillow, my pretty weeping willow. Think of those golden days before, when you put that flower in your hair. Remember just how much I care, and pray you won't be weeping anymore. And I pray you won't be weeping anymore. Oh, oh, oh. So the next one here is called Marvelous Singer. It's off of my last acoustic EP called The Lighter Side of Dark, which came out back in 2021, I think. Time flies when you're having fun. But yeah, it's track number 4. You find on iTunes and Google Play and all that stuff. Marvelous Singer. Your eyes scorch my heart like the sun. If I'd only knew what it is I'd done, I could free myself from this lonely place. But I'll never free myself from the chase. And while our love streaming right down my cheek, you are wondering which one of us is weak. And am I in your head, or are you in mine? All I know is I downstairs while I'm in bed by love that you define. Oh, I can't figure out now, figure out my baby. Can't figure her out now, figure out my baby. I can't figure her out now, figure out my baby. I can't figure her out. 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 Entangle me and set the trap. Now you've got me sitting right in your lap, and now I hate myself for offering you my grace. But you've got to keep up your killing pace. And I wonder, am I soft, or are you that strong? And I've got to come to grips, your lovely lips tell me I don't belong. Oh, I can't figure her out now, figure out my baby. I can't figure her out now, figure out my baby. figure her out now, figure out my baby. I can't figure her out now, figure out my baby. I can't figure her out. 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 Love thy enemy. Love's my enemy. Love is the enemy. Love thy enemy. Love's my enemy. Love is the enemy. Love thy enemy. Love's my enemy. Love is the enemy. Love thy enemy. Love's my enemy. Love is the enemy. Your eyes scorch my heart like the sun. If I'd only knew what it is I've done.
All right, so we're here with Doug Carnahan. Thank you for being on the show, buddy.
Always a pleasure, Jazz. Always a pleasure, my friend.
Much appreciated. And you just jammed one of my favorite songs, Marla Singer. And I'm so happy you did that because I forgot to record it whenever you were playing live the other day.
Gotcha.
So I'm so glad you did it here. Tell me about that song, man.
Well, so when I was doing the record, the acoustic EP, I wanted to do a variety of different songs. Like I wanted to make sure I had a few rockers on there, but at the same time, I would like explore different stuff. And I couldn't tell you what song. I heard something on the radio, like some new age kind of pop song, and it kind of just like the space in between the chords and stuff. It wasn't constant. It was just like there was a lot of air in the song. I should write a song like that. So that's where it came from, man. As far as the title is a character from Fight Club, so
But you can't talk about it because it's Fight Club.
Right.
End of interview. Right? Wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
See you next time on Jazz's Rockin' Roadshow. Thank you.
Good. Let's go. Like the way you put it together, buddy.
Right? Thank you.
That was good.
So that came out in like what, 21 something?
21, yeah, September 2021. Yep.
And now you have a brand new single that is either coming out or just came out, depending on when you watch this.
Correct.
And that song is?
It's called Just a Friend.
Okay, and we haven't heard that one yet. So.
No, it's totally, it's a big departure from what I've normally done and have, am doing. For a while it was rock with the, After the Fall and any previous bands. I still do the acoustic stuff, but then I just had this song stuck in my head, Jazz, for I don't know, man, months. And like in the shower and stuff, I would hear this and I'm like, man, yeah, I kept putting a little bit pieces together here and there, but it's like a pop, dance, rock kind of song. Like think of what's that band called? I think it was EMF or EMI
right. Yeah.
From the Unbelievable, that song from the 90s. Yeah, along those lines. But I was like, I wanted to be adventurous and give it a try recording it and stuff. So I'm very happy with the way it turned out, man. Whether people are going to dig it, I don't know, man. That's up to them.
Well, and that's the thing. You can't make the same album 15 times.
That's it.
Unless you're AC/DC.
Yeah, they get away with it.
Right?
Yeah, no, I like exploring as an artist, man. Like, there's a musician part of it, but then like, when you're writing songs, if you're really into what you're doing, there's a part of you that wants to try different things and challenge. I'm all for challenging myself too. Can I do it? Can I do this? And I thought it was, a very, very important to challenge myself to see if I could do it. And not only that, how it would turn out, how it'd be received. So I mean, the received part we still have yet to find out.
Right.
But I mean, I've gotten the people I have played it for. I've gotten some good feedback on it. So
are you going to incorporate that into your acoustic set?
As a matter of fact, when you said that, the looper pedal that I have, I got the guy I did it with to send me the file for it so I can upload it to my looper pedal, but it's just the instrumental version though.
Sure.
And so it would actually be a song where I wouldn't sing with, or I'm sorry, I wouldn't sing. I wouldn't play guitar. I would just sing. You know, I could even like, you know, add it in there to complement, you know.
Sure.
But it would be a big departure again from, you know, if I'm sitting there playing, you know, Rocket Man or Bad Bad Leroy Brown, and you get into this like dance kind of song, people can be like, what the heck? But it's part of the fun though, you know.
Right. And you're playing all over the place, right?
Everywhere,
I mean,
man, everywhere. I do a lot of tonight I'm doing a private party, but you know, I everywhere. I have a monthly thing I do up at Upper St. Clair, a place called The Porch, every third Thursday. During the summer, I was doing Leechburg Market Days every second Thursday, and then you know, just everything that comes up in between, man. You know.
Yeah, you're a working musician.
All right, buddy. Blue collar, buddy. Blue collar.
Yeah. All right. So go check out Doug Carnahan, and maybe you'll get to hear the new tune.
Yes. Yeah, it's coming out, like I said, soon. Hope end of October, maybe beginning of November. Depends on what they tell me, you know. But somewhere in that neighborhood. And, you know, it'll be up on my website, too, once it does come out, DougCarnahanMusic.com.
I was just going to ask where people can get your music.
That's it there. And that'll lead you all the links. All the links are on there. The social media, all the music links as far as YouTube or iTunes, all that stuff, where all the kids are getting the music these days.
Did you do CDs at all?
I did. My last one I did. I did this one here. I'm not just good. It's a single and it's a little pricey to just put a single on a CD.
Sure.
But I've noticed like a lot of people are getting away from CDs, man. As much as it hurts my heart, you know.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
Excellent.
Oh, I know what you're saying, buddy.
Oh, I was going to say, what? Last question. What do you want to tell the world about Doug Carnahan before we hang this episode up?
I'm not a bad golfer.
I never said you were.
I think we out there thought I was. Not as bad as you think.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Jazz's Rockin' Roadshow with Doug Carnahan, world-class golfer, and sometimes he plays music. Doug, thanks so much, buddy.
Thank you, Jazz, my man. Take it easy, brother.